her, like, because I don't unfriend guests, I'm always like friends with people on Facebook. So every once in a while I'll see her post and I'll just be like, oh wow, that's I'm not gonna click on that. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Some guests they come to a podcast and they feel like now it's my moment to shine. I'm gonna tell my whole life story, uninterruptedly for 40 minutes, 1 hour. Like no, like the way that I see, at least personally, it's a conversation. It's like we're having a Skype call or FaceTime call. That's more my approach. I know everyone's different, but Mike, we just brushed on a theme of death so quickly. I'm so interested by it. I would like to ask a little bit more about it. So,
sure, yeah.
during your episodes, during your podcast, Coffin Talk, did you ever notes? Did you ever know? My God, let me try again. Did you ever noticed a common thread, like something that everyone say that they believe is gonna happen after they die, like something like some common something in common among all of them?
Because I interview such weird people sometimes, there's not going to be a common, but I can take those people out and then give you an answer. So I can, like, if I take out the guy who remembers what he was doing before he was born, and I take out the person who had a near death experience who's like very confident in like this or that, I'll say, Christians and Catholics seem apologetic for believing in heaven. I'll say that, like, they seem almost like embarrassed to say it because I think culture makes so much fun of that now. So they're like, well, I really do believe that I'm going to go up to heaven and I'm going to see everyone I loved. And I encourage them to believe in that because I believe in like psychology. I believe that when you close your eyes, you see what you want to see. So I think that when you're dying, it would not be impossible to see every person you ever loved. Also, near death experiences corroborate this. People say you see the person at the age you want to see them at. So, like, that answers one of those tough questions about, like, well, why would my dad be 43 and, blah, but my dad's going to look like the healthy, happy dad I want to remember, like, I don't want to see my dad. My dad's still alive, so I shouldn't use him as an example. I don't want to see like a person at the very, very end when they're like lying thin on a table with like bones almost sticking out, so that's like, I would say Christians and Catholics, like that's very common. And then I think the most common thing, it's not what happens when you die, but there's a very common thing that I hear that has inspired me, which is what really matters is the legacy you leave behind. Like, how are people going to remember you? And not like, did you cure cancer? Although that would be an amazing legacy, but there's one person or one team that's going to cure cancer, So like, it's just like, like right now, think of like a very important teacher from your life, and you don't need to tell me who it is, but that person's legacy in your mind is fucking A plus, like that person who like didn't maybe get their book published and maybe they like didn't get to do the job of their dreams and they just became a teacher, but you're like a little boy in their class or a young adult in their class if it was college, and they fucking changed you. Like they made you feel like important. They made you feel like your life had a point to it. They helped you see something about yourself or the world that you never saw before. And so to me, like that's the inspiring side of my show is that god damn, it's so hard to see how important you are to people, like because we just don't show it sometimes, or like it's hard to explain to a waitress, like a server, how much they helped you that night you were at like a diner and you're just feeling lonely, and like they asked you that extra question and they filled your coffee cup up with like a smile, and like you're never going to be able to convey to them that memory stuck, but like right now you're picturing that server in your life, I'm
Yeah.
picturing that server from my life. They're just servers, they're just working in a restaurant, so like love and legacy and who you impact is, that's why I'm embarrassed when I cut people off when I was younger. I'm embarrassed because I was the asshole in their life who scared them and made them feel like they'd done something wrong, which they probably did. They cut me off, but like, why did I punish them? What, the arrogance of like me to be like, you cut me off in a car, and then like flash forward to like, I'm late for a concert and I missed the exit. So I cut in front of 25 cars because otherwise I'm going to miss the concert, oh, it's okay, I was late for a concert. Well, maybe that person was late for something, So like, that's as I get older. And that's why I talk the way I do about Donald Trump. Is like, come on, am I going to spend the last 40 years of my life, 50 years, like complaining about politics and getting mad at because there's an aggressive person in office who beat a different aggressive person who claims they care about other policies. Like, no, I have to have an ability to like live and breathe and be happy. I have to be able to fill someone's cup in a diner, no matter who's president and no matter how many bombs are dropping. And if I lived in Russia and Putin was my president, I would feel probably the same way I feel right now living in America with Trump as my president. So I hate when people like talk about people in a country as if their leaders were their responsibility. And so that does tie into death and legacy, because right now a lot of people are spending no time on their personal interactions with people, and they're spending all their time bombastically posting what they think about the world, whether it's, you know, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, America, Trump, electric cars, cancer, earthquake in Thailand, you know, just like news, blah, like, but man, just be good to people, be nice to people. Like the hardest thing for me is like, my wife pissed me off this morning, and I've got to work really hard on being nice to her later, because I love my wife and my wife does so much for me, but she pissed me off this morning and I just wanted to be pissed. Like, I just wanted to be upset with my wife. And I've gotten a divorce. I know that if I don't correct and I don't show her love tonight, I'm the one who's pushing her away, not the other way around. So yeah, your legacy is the answer. Like, the most common answer I get is, well, this is what I think happens when you die, but that's not actually important. What's important is like remembering to be nice to people. Like, it's hard to do that, and I need to do more of that.
Yeah, that's a very very nice answer. I think they asked Keanu Reeves on air once, Keanu, what do you think happens to us when we die? And he said, the only thing I know for sure is that the ones who love us will miss us.
It's a good answer.
Did you see this interview? It's beautiful.
No, but anytime I'm watching an interview now, because this happens a lot, and someone says like, "What do you think happens when you die?" I'm like, "They stole my question!" Like, I get like heated. It's so funny, and it's not even as much ego as it sounds. So much as like, "No, I want to ask them." Like, what, you know? So I love when I see that though. And Keanu Reeves actually, he strikes me as a really like heartfelt guy. Like, he does. Like, he's not like a lot of other movie stars, and I keep hearing from people that like behind the scenes he's super giving and warm, and I think that answer shows that. I really do. I also think some people who get successful, there's like a real damn good reason for it. I really do. I do believe that some people get rewarded for doing horrible things, but I don't think internally they feel rewarded. But I think a lot of these people who really rise to like the top, it's because there's a goodness in them and people are attracted to that and they want to promote them up.
Hmm. What are your views on Will Smith?
Uh, All right. You know, I started this by saying I'm going to be authentic, so I'm going to be authentic. I feel really, I feel very bad for him now. I feel bad for him because he is a victim of performativity. He knows that his wife has adult relations with other men. He knows that they've been in a open marriage that he didn't really want to advertise, and she did. And I think he feels that horrible feeling that a lot of young men feel, especially when you date like a chick who you think is much better looking than you.